All right, I'm in Auckland now, and obviously fascinating weekend of quarterfinal rugby. There were 8 teams, now there are 4. Before the week, everyone, like I did, thought that Ireland would get up over Wales. We thought that South Africa would get up over Australia, and I really thought that England would beat France. And how wrong we were. I was sitting in the stands thinking to myself, a little bit of déjà vu for 2007. You know, I remember the weekend of the quarterfinals, some massive games. France knocking out New Zealand, England knocking out Australia, and it looked a similar sort of situation here in New Zealand. Ireland were obviously firm favourites. They played some really good rugby, some great experience in their team, but all credit to Wales. I mean, they started off with a bang, scored within the first 5 minutes, and ended up winning that game comfortably. So, you know, again, a fascinating weekend of semi-finals to look forward to. The other game which I was convinced about is that there was a French team in disarray. Coach was bad-mouthing the players. Players were talking about the coach, saying that they couldn't believe the coach was publicly disgracing them. And I think that the fact that England had got over Scotland and Argentina, they were firm favourites to win this game. And like a lot of people in New Zealand, we just couldn't believe it. I mean, France pitched up, played some great rugby, and ended up winning this quarterfinal and giving them a chance to go and play Wales in the next semi. And then the one I suppose all South Africans want to know about is what happened to South Africa. You know, I was convinced South Africa would win this game. They're number 2 in the world, massive amounts of experience. Everyone back home thought that South Africa should win this game. In fact, the way that South Africa played, they played some really good rugby. At times, I feel maybe too much rugby in their own half. Maybe should have gone the conservative route, which is the route that's been carrying them for the last 4 or 5 years. And all credit to Australia. I mean, they defended over 145 tackles and ended up winning the game 11-9. For me, a little bit of a World Cup final. I mean, people back in New Zealand here and people that I've been bumping into have been saying that was the epitome of a Rugby World Cup final. 11-9, final result, you know, would have probably been the benchmark of the World Cup as it is here in 2011. New Zealand, Argentina, again, I was under the impression that New Zealand would just, with power, pace and skill, would really outclass the Argentinians. But all credit to the Pumas. Pumas were fantastic. I mean, I thought their defensive systems really worked. They kept out the New Zealand team till 65 minutes before New Zealand could cross over the try line and get their first try. And, you know, I think a fantastic opportunity now for World Rugby to see the Quad Nations with Argentina coming into the Tri Nations next year, and a fascinating way to look forward to that tournament. So all in all, a very, very good weekend of quarterfinal rugby. You know, mouth-watering semi-finals await for us this weekend, and we'll speak next week about what I think is going to happen.